Zoe Flowers here, back with another pick a card reading. I know it's been a minute, but it has been a lot going on, and I'm just glad to be back. So if you're new to my channel, we do pick a card readings here, we do astrology readings here, we do lunar readings here, and so I wanted to hop on and do this "Why Are You Stuck?" video. And it's interesting because this is my second attempt at doing this video, so I really want to just hop right into it and get started, okay? Because I don't want to get stopped again. Okay, so welcome. If you are familiar with pick a card readings, you know what it is. If you are new, basically you pick the card that resonates with you. So we have pile number 1, which is our purple little kitty cat. We have pile number 2, which is our pink Piggly Wiggly. And then we have pile number 3, which is our green kitty cat. Okay, so pause the vid, take a deep breath, pick the pile that resonates, and I'll see you on the other side. We are going to try this again. If you picked the purple cat, this reading is for you. So obviously, since I already did this, I already know what the cards are, but we're going to do it again. Okay, so the first card out of the deck was the Father in reverse, right? And so this is telling me right off the bat that one of the things that's keeping you all stuck is issues with the father, either the physical father or the father archetype, meaning issues with authority, maybe having issues with how things are done, maybe having issues with patriarchal society, the way that things are, the gender imbalance in our society. Maybe that has affected you on a deep level and you feel like you cannot produce the things you want to produce because of the way things are set up in society, and this has impacted you deeply, right? That is on the macro level, and looking at maybe feeling like you didn't get the right mentors, maybe feeling like you didn't get the right help, maybe feeling like you didn't get the right schooling, maybe you feel like you need to go back to school, you need to get more classes. I know that's definitely been my case, like just always feeling like I have to do extra, I have to do the most to get what other people seem to get easily. So that could also be resentment, because resentment can also serve as a block. Resentment can also keep us stuck. So maybe being resentful about either how your father was or wasn't in your life, but again, just resentful of the father archetype. And as we know, we have to have balanced feminine and masculine energy to be, I'm going to say balance, right? That's silly, but that's the vibe. That's what I'm feeling. And so there's just an overall need to also just balance the masculine energy within you and to harness it. Oh, that's super interesting. See, I didn't get that the last time. I'm actually getting more now. It's so interesting. So there's a need to balance the masculine energy within you. We all have access to masculine and feminine energy. It's just that some people let it flow like a tap and some people siphon it off. And so the masculine principle is about putting your ideas out into the world, right? And so maybe there's a fear, there's a hesitant, again, because of all the things that I talked about before, especially if you have abandonment issues with the father, right? So there could be some father healing that needs to be done, right? So that you feel worthy of putting yourself out in the world in a very prominent way, right? Ooh, that is good. And so then the second card we have is direction. So obviously these things go hand in hand, right? If you don't feel confident within yourself because of messages you heard growing up, because of things that you saw, this could also be past life. This was making me think of past life because we have purple and gold. Purple and gold is traditionally thought to be a very religious, very Christian, very royal, right? And so this could also be past life stuff that you brought into this lifetime. So your vision is cloudy, right? Not knowing which way to go, just like flying in all different directions and not really ever, creating something sturdy, something stable, right? There could also be this disconnect between what you want and how you're acting, right? So you may want to be stable, but again, just not putting the things in place to secure that stability, right? Ooh, it's flowing now. And then we have the Mother of Sticks showing up. And so the sticks represents the wands, and the wands represents actions. And so again, maybe having a very strong mother figure, again, like harsh criticism, right? So absent father, critical mother could really be blocking your path, blocking your direction. But also, this is also this imbalance again between the feminine and the masculine principles within you, the masculine and the feminine energies within you. And so again, particularly if you are railing against society, the way things are set up, you might be leaning more to the feminine aspects of yourself than the masculine aspects of yourself. And again, as I said, and we see that they are upside down, right? And so this could also be like having a mother figure that was out working. Maybe you were raised by a single mother. She was out, working, absentee father. So you have an imbalanced view of what is accessible to you. Woo, that is flowing now. I guess this is why they ruined the other one. And then so all of this imbalance leading to a lack of insight, leading to you not leaning into your intuition, not trusting the messages. I mean, again, this is something that I can definitely relate to. I definitely feel like this is my deck. We'll see what the other decks produce, but considering how stuck even I was feeling, so yeah, so doing work on your third eye to open your third eye, or at least the very least to strengthen your intuition, right? So that you know where you're going to. Do you know where you're going to? Right? And then ultimately we have growth, right? So growth is here. Growth is coming, but it is after you work with that third eye, you trust your intuition, but more importantly, I really think it's trusting the male and female aspects of yourself and letting them come out, letting them shine, doing something that you've never done before. It is fall, it is harvest time. So really harvesting something new. And it's so funny, I can't stop looking at this wildness deck for you, pile number 1. And it's like where, the full moon is coming on October 1st, right? So, yeah, really doing something that you've never done before, being different, letting that wild side out of your personality. It's so interesting because if we have insight under the father, we have growth under direction, which is amazing, and we have wildness under the Mother of Sticks or the wands, right? So taking different actions that might not be the norm for you, right? What an amazing, beautiful reading. I'm so glad I did it. I've been doubting whether to keep doing readings, whether it's like even useful, but it feels really good to me right now. So I'm going to just go with the flow. And please let me know if this resonates. Please like, share, and subscribe. It helps me so much. It lets me know y'all are out there. So please share if you care, and I'll see you next time. Hey, pile number 2, my pink piggly wiggly. Makes me wonder if this has to do with finances. Because we got the little pig, and pigs make me think of banks. So let's see what's going on, pile number 2. Okay, why you're stuck. We have union. I am not sure what that means yet. I'm kind of feeling like, though, it's like an as above, so below situation. I kind of feel like maybe this is actually related to a lack of faith. I still feel like this also has something to do with finances, but we gonna see, because we have union in reverse. And then we have the storm. Duality, which is quite similar to that union, isn't it? That's quite similar here. What else we got? We got fire in reverse. I have no idea what's happening yet. 5 of baskets. Oh. Paying attention to the past, not looking at the future, maybe? Fantastic good fortune and lucky challenges, abracadabra. And purity. Okay, literally, what's going on here? All right. Okay, so I'm hearing the past, the past, the past, the past. Okay. So, mm, okay. So this is some sort of breakup, breakdown that needs to be a breakthrough, but it is not a breakthrough yet. So this is either a crisis of faith or a literal breakdown of a relationship. And this separation, this need to be unified occurred because of some kind of disruption, some kind of tower moment. And instead of looking at things, taking the good with the bad, understanding the duality of life, I'm getting the sense that you're harboring some anger, some fear that is quelling your internal fire. This is giving me a need for solar plexus work, the area of our body that has to do with the will, putting our will out into the world, excuse me. And so this is giving me like your internal fire has been dimmed. And your internal fire has been dimmed because of whatever breakdown this was, right? And we know it is a was situation because we have the 5 of Cups here. So much like the 5 of Baskets, which represents, the baskets represents the emotions in this particular deck. And so, this is a person who is focusing on the baskets that have been turned over, the mess, right? Instead of focusing on the ones that are still standing, the baskets that are still full, right? And so there is a need to respect the duality of all things, as above, so below, because it has shown up here twice. So what goes on in the mind manifests on earth. What goes on in the spirit world manifests on earth. What goes on in the imagination goes on earth, right? And so there is a need to, I get it. There is a need to unify your connection to, I get it, to strengthen your, not just your faith, but to strengthen your union with the divine, right? To allow for the duality of all things, the positive, the negative, the happy, the sad. There is a need to see things clearly, right? So that you can increase your good fortune and your lucky chances, right? The possibility is here because we have purity showing up as the last card. But this to me is very much a card of walking by faith and not by sight, because you see the eyes are covered, right? And there's a person dancing in the background. But you're never going to get to see the person dancing in the background. You're never going to get to that place if you're constantly focusing on the past. So it's almost like there is a need to just be blind to the past, to see the good, to really see the good, to see how you have been strengthened, to see how maybe you have allowed yourself to have to wipe the slate clean, right? There's a need to wipe the slate clean. One thing about snow, when it first falls, how clean it is, how crisp it is, how pure it feels, how full of promise a first snow is. And so there's a need to return to that, okay? There is a need to return to that. It's not lost on me that purity is sitting under the 5 of Cups, right? So that is what I have for you, pile number 2. Maybe even using this sigil, the abracadabra sigil. This is a card of magic, right? Fantastic good fortune and lucky chances. Maybe writing down all the things that happened to you and putting this sigil on top of it, and maybe burning the sigil to release this positive energy into the world and to bring you something new from what you suffered. Please drop down in the comments. Let me know if it resonates with you, and share if you care. And I'll see you next time. Right, pile number 3, you are up. If you pick this little green kitty cat, this is your reading. This, I think, is the most cards in the deck. This particular deck has the most cards in it. So I'm interested to see what's going on here. I have my suspicions with this green cat, but we're going to see why you stuck. Okay, let's see why you're stuck. All right, so the first thing we have is we have the seasons, right? But we have the seasons in reverse. And so this card is giving me very much goddess spiral vibes. It's also giving me reptile, snake, rebirth vibes. And the fact that it's in reverse to me is like I don't want to say refusal. I feel like that's too strong of a word, but it's more like being unaware of the seasons of your life, being unaware of how to go with the flow, being unaware of how things, how things really work, right? And then we have abundance also in reverse. And so this inability to go with the flow, to flow with the seasons, to actually maybe even work with the seasons is keeping your abundance on pause. So anybody that does readings with me knows that when I read cards in the reverse, that means that these are energies that have yet to be released, okay? These are things that have yet to go out into the world. And so so going with the flow is definitely impacting your ability to attract abundance, right? And so we have the green, which is life, which is birth, right? And then we have green here, and then we have the green of the leaves here, right? So this is a stagnant energy, and it is because you are not going with the flow. Maybe you're trying to force the universe. So we have unfamiliar territory, fish out of water here. And so maybe you're in unfamiliar territory because faith, going with the flow, is unfamiliar. Maybe you're actually new to this spiritual conversation. Maybe you came from a family that wasn't particularly spiritual, or maybe you come from a family that's actually was very religious, and this new way of like going with the flow is new to you. Maybe that means leaving all that you know, all that you've learned, and there's like a spiritual identity crisis here because you're stepping into unfamiliar territory. I also feel like the changes in the world, like everything that's happening, oh, thank you, Spirit, everything that's happening in the world right now, maybe you're empathic, you're highly sensitive, you're highly, what is the word? What are you giving me? Sensitive, but it's not sensitive. Susceptible. You're highly susceptible to other people's energies, people's places and things, and what is happening. Everything that's happening in the world is impacting you deeply. And so all of the death and all of the destruction and all of the lies and all of those things are really affecting you in a deep way. And now you can't manifest, and maybe you can't manifest because you can't sleep, and maybe you can't sleep because you're watching the news or you're on social media. You also need to be drinking more water, turning off everything, sitting in the dark, meditating, journaling, going out in nature. These are all things that will help your spirit to flow. Your spirit is stuck. Your spirit does not feel free, right? And then we have the 5 of coins here. So in the traditional tarot, this is the 5 of Pentacles, and this is a card of being left out in the cold. And so we see here, we have, obviously an enslaved African in the center of these two people. And it's this person is this child is quite lost, and you see that the man above him is spitting something out of his mouth. So this is a cleansing ritual. This is your ancestors actually encouraging you to come and get that cleansing, to come in from out of the cold, right? To cleanse yourself, to be reborn, and to recognize, all these things are happening. This ritual is happening, and if you look at his eyes, like he can't see it, he can't feel it. It's almost like he's checked out. He has no idea what's happening, right? Because he's focused on his state, his human state. And they're trying to help him, right? Your ancestors are trying to help you. They're trying to reach you, but you're so much in this state of disbelief. You're checked out, right? And that's what's keeping you stuck, right? So there's a need to come in from the cold. So we have happy love here, a joyful, stable partnership, and good friends. And so this definitely is the antidote, right? Again, coming in from out of the cold, telling people what's wrong. Maybe stepping away from your tribe of people also that you're with, because I have this happy love and friendship under abundance in reverse. So I also feel like the people that you're around are not the people that you're around are not the people necessarily to walk with you on this leg of your race. And so what you need is to tap into your will, right? So we have will and unfamiliar territory, and even the colors, look how similar they are. My God, these two decks together are stunning. So it is going to take your will to get to where you want to go. And then we have the masculine energy again. And so tapping into your masculine energy, tapping into the, it's interesting because we have full moon in Aries, and Aries is definitely about the self. Aries is definitely a masculine sign. And so Aries is the god of war. And so it's like this coupled with the will is like tapping into that male part, that me first energy of Aries, tapping into it unapologetically so that you can get the things that you want. And that is what I have for you, pile number 3. If you made it this far, please go ahead and drop a crystal ball in the comments, and please like, share, and subscribe. It helps me so much. And yeah, if this resonated, please let me know, and don't forget to click that like button, and I'll see you next time. Bye.